My brother slept with my girlfriend 26 years ago and married her. Now my daughter wants them at her wedding. What I said next froze the entire room. Hello Reddit I+ here. Alright, buckle up because this story has been fermenting for a quarter of a century. I never thought I would write it, but here we are. I am Rylan, 45, and the person who detonated my life back in the day was my younger brother Seth, who is 43 now. 25 years ago, he got involved with the woman I had been planning a future with. He married her, had kids with her, built a life out of the rubble of mine. I cut him off completely, not quietly either. I issued a permanent, unbreakable line that nobody took seriously. Until now. Because my daughter wants him and his wife present at her wedding, and apparently, I am the villain for saying no. Let me take you back. When I was 20, I was juggling night classes in mechanical engineering and working as a junior tech at a small repair shop in a rough neighborhood. I was the kind of kid who tried to outwork his circumstances. I was saving for my own shop someday, and the owner, an old school guy named Tobias, believed I could make it. My partner at the time was Karis, 19, ambitious, artistic, charismatic. We met when she needed help with her busted scooter outside a grocery mart. People said we looked like two puzzle pieces, like we fit without forcing it. I believed them. We were together for nearly 3 years. We talked about an apartment, budgets, maybe a small ceremony a few years down the road. I had a ring in mind, nothing flashy, just something that meant something. Now, about Seth. He had always been the golden boy, not because he was successful, but because he could charm his way through anything. He quit community college after 6 weeks. He bounced between jobs. He borrowed money from our parents the way other people borrow sugar, but he knew how to make people like him. My parents adored him for being social. Never mind that he used that exact personality to push responsibility onto everyone else. At first I thought it was sweet that he tried to be friendly with Karis. He cracked jokes, drove her places if my shift ran late, acted like the supportive brother. I thought it was sibling bonding. What an idiot I was. Looking back, it was obvious. Shared inside jokes, whispered conversations, a strange closeness that made no sense. But I was young, exhausted, distracted, and too trusting for my own good. Then came the day everything snapped. I had pulled a monster shift the night before. Tobias sent me home early saying I looked 1 hour away from passing out. I figured I would shower and surprise Karis later. I walked into my parents' house where I was still living to save money. It was silent. I thought I was alone, until I heard voices and movement upstairs, from Seth's room. I froze at the bottom of the steps, stuck between dread and denial. Part of me already knew, but part of me did not want to see it, did not want to confirm it. Eventually, I forced myself to walk up. Every step felt like sandbags tied to my ankles. When I reached Seth's door, the noises were unmistakable. I opened the door. No knocking, no announcement, no hesitation. There they were, my brother and my partner in his bed. The same bed I helped him assemble in that room years earlier. Karis went pale and burst into tears, scrambling for a blanket. Seth just stared at me like I was interrupting a TV show. His face was not apologetic. It was annoyed. I asked one simple question. How long? Karis whispered the answer. 4 months. 4 months. I remember feeling nothing for a few seconds. Just emptiness. Like my brain unplugged itself so my heart could break in peace. After that moment, something clicked in me. I told Seth he was no longer my brother. I told my parents I would never attend another gathering if he was present. I told Karis goodbye without letting her explain. I packed everything that belonged to me and left that same evening. I never spoke a single word to Seth again. Everyone assumed time would soften it. Everyone insisted family mends itself. Everyone insisted I would grow out of the anger. Instead, the anger calcified. I built a life without them. I opened my own shop, raised a daughter, moved 3 towns away. I made it clear to my parents that Seth and his wife were ghosts to me. And for 25 years, that was that. Now for the present. My daughter Talia, 22, engaged, excited for her wedding next summer, sits me down on a random Thursday evening. She looked nervous, which is never a good sign. She tells me she has been reconnecting with extended relatives without telling me. Not cousins on my wife's side. No, relatives on mine. That included Seth and his wife and their 2 kids. She tells me she has been meeting them secretly for nearly 5 years. She visits them for coffee, invites them to her art shows, goes to their cookouts. She even went to the birthday party of their youngest child. Then she tells me she wants them at her wedding. Not only invited, involved. She wants one of their kids as her flower girl. She said it like she was asking me to pass the salt. Calm, casual. I told her simply and clearly, if he is going, I am not, and I will not fund a single part of the wedding. Her entire face changed. She accused me of living in the past. She said I was ruining her celebration over a mistake people made decades ago. She said I was selfish. The argument exploded. She left crying. Within hours, my phone turned into a war zone. My ex-wife called first, shouting that Talia was hurt. Then my parents called and left long voicemails about forgiveness and healing. Then my sister texted accusing me of being dramatic. Then extended relatives joined in saying I was overreacting. Every message said the same thing. Let go. Move on. Family matters more than old scars. Not one person said, Rylan, what happened to you was wrong. I ignored every call, every message. My current partner, Nari, tried to be gentle. She said I should consider talking it through to avoid losing Talia permanently. But the truth is simple. This is not about grudges. This is about self-respect. Seth and Karis made choices that blew up a life I was building. And everyone expected me to swallow it just because time passed. So yeah, that is where I am. A father who might miss his own daughter's wedding because she wants to pretend the past never happened. A week after the blowout with Talia, things went quiet. Not peaceful quiet. The kind of quiet that means a storm is waiting for the right moment to hit. That moment came on a Saturday morning at my shop. I was finishing an inspection on a client's car when the bell on the front door rang. I expected a customer. Instead, my entire family walked in. My parents, my sister, and behind them, like he had every right to breathe my air, Seth. He looked older, tired, like life had not been the smooth ride everyone claimed he had. But seeing him still punched something deep inside me. My mother started talking before I even put down my tools. She launched into a speech about unity, forgiveness, healing, everything she had been parroting for years. My father tried to soften it, saying Talia deserved the presence of her whole family. Then my sister stepped aside, and Seth walked forward like he had been rehearsing his moment. He said he was sorry. He said he regretted everything. He said he wished he could take it back. But his voice had no weight, no ownership. It sounded like an apology meant to end a conversation, not repair anything. I told them all the same thing I told Talia. I am done sharing space with him. I made that clear 25 years ago. If she wants him at the wedding, she can have him. But she will not have me. My mother started crying. My father begged me to reconsider. My sister glared at me like I was heartless. Seth just stood there waiting for me to crack. I didn't. I told them to leave. I told them the conversation was over. I told them not to show up at my workplace again. They left one by one. My parents last. Seth never looked back. That night, Talia called. Her voice was quiet, nothing like the yelling last time. She said she had not known my family planned that ambush. She said she needed time to think. I told her I loved her. But my boundary stays. And that was the first time since this whole mess started that she did not hang up on me.